Hi there, Coomer families. Mrs. Shockey here. Tonight, I just wanted to share with you some tips and tricks on how to read nonfiction stories or text with your child at home. Now, the first thing I want to go over are some of the characteristics or text features that you'll find when reading nonfiction text with your child. So, what you see here on this folder are just some of the things that you might find inside of nonfiction text. A lot of these things you'll see when reading these kind of books. And then sometimes you won't. Not every nonfiction book has all of these things inside them. So what I thought I would do is I have a huge stack of books right here next to me. And I thought what we could do is just kind of go through, flip through, and see some of these things. Find a table of context, the title, the heading, some bullets, illustration, those sort of things, and just show you where you might find them in books and let you see some of the things that you might find as you read these books with your child. So I'm going to scoot this over, move over my pile of books, and let's get started. So some of the first books that you might find or see are books that come home in your child's book baggie or their book pouch, little books like this, okay? And they're little books that they have that they start practicing reading. Things like Who Likes Grass or A Little Fawn Grows Up. And in these books, it's just real pictures because nonfiction books are real, true facts and information. That's what they learn. They learn that from Mrs. Swanson. They learn that from their teachers. They learn that from our units of study program. They learn about the world books and they give them real, true facts and information. And so in this story, you just see dogs like grass. Dogs like to run in the grass. Here is a dog running in the grass. It's real, true facts and information. And here you can see that we've got a picture of a dog running in the grass. And if we keep flipping through, there's nothing really more to it, except you see different animals in the grass and what they like to do in the grass. Okay? And that's about all there is to those very basic books. Same thing in this one, A Little Fawn Grows Up. In this story, you can see that there's a picture of a fawn. Spring is here, a little fawn is a baby, and it follows the fawn as he grows from spring into summer and what he's doing. But I don't see any titles, I don't see any labels, I don't see anything more, but it is giving me facts and information about a fawn as he goes from a little tiny baby all the way to through the winter when he's now a grown-up. Here he is, all grown up. And so again, real, true facts and information. As the books get a little more tricky, you might see something a little more difficult. My five senses. Okay, here we are talking about their five senses. Oh, using their eyes, using their ears, giving me facts and information, what I do with my sense of smell. Okay, right now it's looking pretty much like that other book. Until I get here, and now I see one of the first things, I see labels. And I see that it's labeling the different body parts and which sense I use. Okay, and it's coming back here. And then again on the back, I've got labels, and it's tying my sense, my eyes, with what I used to see, and then what I can see. And this one actually even gives me a heading or a title. Okay, so something I found in that nonfiction. Then the books keep going. They get a little harder. How frogs grow. Giving me some more real, true facts information about how frogs grow. Keeps going. I'm seeing some lovely pictures here. Hi, giving me information. And then I get to the back, and now I've got a really nice diagram. And this diagram is labeled, and it shows me how it goes from a frog egg, to a little tadpole, to a larger tadpole, to a grown-up frog. So now I've got a diagram. So all that information that was in the words, this breaks it down, and it helps me see it a little bit more clearly. So I can talk with my child and break it down a little bit easier using that diagram. Okay, then I've got this story, A Butterfly in the Rain. This story is interesting because this one gives me real true facts and information But if you take notice, I don't have real pictures in this story. And this will sometimes trick kids because they'll think that this is a fiction story because it doesn't have real pictures. But when we talk to kids about nonfiction text, we have to tell them it's about the words. Are you learning facts about something? The pictures just help support the information in the words, in the text. And this says a butterfly can fly from flower to flower on a sunny day. That's a fact. A butterfly flies to find its food. That's a fact. A butterfly's food is called nectar. That's a fact. These words make it nonfiction. Just because these are illustrations or drawings doesn't mean that it's not a nonfiction text. All right. Then the books start to get a little bit more tricky. And this is where we might start to see some different types of text features. Right here, we've got our table of contents. And this is when you're going to be able to not read the whole book from cover to cover. Maybe when you sit down one night, you might only want to read part of it. Hey, do you just want to read about mother hippos and their babies? Let's turn to page 6 and read that. Or do you just want to read where hippos live? Let's turn to the last page and read that. You don't always have to read from beginning to end of a nonfiction text, especially when you get into the really thicker, bigger chapter books. This one's only 16 pages. You could probably read it from beginning to end and be okay, but you don't have to. And that's the good part of nonfiction books. It comes in sections or topics, so you can read just certain parts. This is the table of contents. Let's see what else is in this book. Looking through here. Oh, here we had the title on the front, Hippos. That was our title. But when I get inside, now I see that I've got a heading. This heading, what hippos look like. When I take a look down here, now I've got special print. I've got this bold print. Sometimes it's bold. Sometimes it's that funny italic. Sometimes it's really large. That tells me this is an important word. This is something that I need to take a look at. This is something that's important and the author wants me to know it. So when I'm reading with my child, I'm going to look at that and be like, whoop, that's something that's very important. Here I've got those labels again, like we had in that other book. This story is fun because it asks a question on one page and then it turns it over and it gives the answer on the next page. Okay, here's another heading. Did you notice the headings in bold print? It changes the font, it changes the style, and it says, whoop, new topic. And this new topic goes back to the table of contents. And that's how I know when a new topic happens. Okay, flipping through, is there anything else in this book? I'm flipping. Oh, new topic. Question and answer. I'm flipping. I've got all these new topics. Ooh, on the back here, this one doesn't just have a diagram. Quite often, nonfiction stories have maps. And this map shows me where pygmy hippos live and where river hippos live. So this helps me be able to know the information in the back. And then this also has an index. So if I were interested, or if you were reading with your child and they wanted to know just about hippos and mud, I know that I could find mud and I could go to page 15 and that's where I could find out about hippos and mud. Or if I wanted to know about hippos and crocodiles, I could go to page 7 and find out about hippos and crocodiles. So this index helps me help my child know where to go to find that information. Okay, so that's how I can use the index. We don't have to read the whole thing to find out about hippos and crocodiles. I can go to the index to help my child with that. All right, now I've got some books that are also books that my children themselves have on their library. This one was Water Monsters. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Okay, again, table of contents. And if it zooms in, you can kind of see these chapters were a little bit longer. This one was 10 pages, 8 pages, okay, 18 pages. So this might be where you might want to just read about certain ones. Like this chapter was 8 pages on the Loch Ness Monster. So maybe you just want to read that chapter one night. You don't want to read the whole thing. This, oh, interesting, glossary. I'm going to go to that on the back on page 47. This is also, some nonfiction texts have a glossary, and a glossary is sort of like a little mini dictionary that gives the definition of some of those really important words. So maybe one night you just want to talk about the definition of words that are in here and talk about them and read through here and then talk about them in like kid language and put them in sentences and maybe talk about what they might mean. Squids, sea creatures with long, soft bodies. Maybe you want to look them up on your phone. Okay, so a glossary is something else you might find in nonfiction text. Also in this book, you can see we talked about different fonts or different kinds of print. Maybe one night you just want to go through and look at all of the pictures and read all of the captions that go with it. Okay, you can see here that there's captions. Sometimes the pictures have captions, and it's important to just read those. And so maybe you just want to read all of the illustrations and all of the captions one night and just go through the whole book and read all of the captions and get an idea of what this book is about. And then the next night, go back and read just part of the book. You can get so much information just by reading the captions that go with the illustrations from the book, okay? Or just by reading this, helping your child look at this. It was just a black snake. Woo, that gives me a ton of information to talk about. You can see them right there, just a black snake, okay? Some other nonfiction books. This one, A Handbook of Pirates. You can see this has the index on the front, plus a table of context. Okay, different kinds of nonfiction. Maybe you just want to flip through and talk about all the different kinds of details they see, all of the different kinds of pirate tools. Talk about the different, one night you just want to read about Blackbeard. Maybe one night you want to read about Samuel Bradish. You wouldn't want to. Which pirate do you want to read about tonight? Let's check out the table of contents again, or let's pick two, and then we're going to talk about them. How are they the same? How are they different? Compare the two pirates, okay? That's one way to read nonfiction text. This one, okay? Another nonfiction book that you might find, they're not all the same, and that's the great thing about nonfiction text. 50 Facts. This one does have a table of contents, but it also has, before you even get into it, things you should know about your country. Little fun facts with bullets. And it has little bullets here. These are important to read. And these bullets might be in little bullet points with little circles or little stars. Little fun facts about your country before you even get into our table of contents. And then when you take a look at the table of contents, it's not like a regular table of contents. It's alphabetical order. So you're going to have to sit with your child and show them 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. You could do it in order, or you could say, hey, what state do you want to read about tonight? Let's find it. You want to read about Texas? All right, I got to find my T's. Texas is on page 98. Let's turn to 98. Okay. Oh, contest winners. I wonder what that's about. Let's turn to page 116. Okay. And that's how I would go through reading that. This one is a dinosaur dictionary. This is a nonfiction text, even though it's a dictionary, A to Z. Do you want to read all the A dinosaurs tonight? Do you want to read about a triceratops? T, we're going to have to go to the T to find triceratops and just read that information, okay? Secrets of a Civil War submarine, okay? Taking a look here, finding information in here. All kinds of good stuff. There's labels on that. There's diagrams. There's information. I bet here we might find timelines. That'll help you, okay? Looking through that. Dinosaurs: A Lost World. Lots of these have pop-ups. That's always fun. Again, information. Real, true facts and information. Taking a look at the human body. That's one. And then this is a great way to spur off new topics. You're looking at this, X-rays. Ooh, there's only a little bit of information here. Pick up the laptop, pick up your iPad, pick up your phone. Hey Siri, tell me more about an X-ray. Find a YouTube video, find another book. Hey, Google, can you find me another book on an X-ray? Nonfiction books tell you so much, and the possibilities are endless. And don't forget to talk about it with your child. Ask them different kinds of questions. What facts did you enjoy learning most? What would you want to share with someone else? Would you like to read more books about this topic? What pictures or illustrations did you find most interesting? Okay, is this book like others that you have read? How is it the same? How is it different? Okay, what questions would you ask the author if you had the chance to meet them? Okay, so I know that stories, fiction stories, are so much fun to read and explore, but don't forget about nonfiction text because truly there's so much information and there's so much pleasure to be found in nonfiction stories as well. All right, thanks so much, Guru families. Have a great evening. Bye.